Well, good afternoon. This is Kent Blaylock with Kent Sports Replays. Hope everyone is doing well and hope everyone is having a great week as we hit midweek on this Wednesday, June the 17th, 2026. And I'm going to continue in my replay of the 1921 World Series. That is a World Series that features the New York Giants versus the New York Yankees from the Polo Grounds in New York. Both teams used the Polo Grounds in 1921, so really no home field advantage as both teams play there. We're 4 games in. It's tied up. The series is tied up 2-2. If you want to see how those previous games went, just go back and watch the prior games. We are playing a best of 9 series in 1921. That was the last time that the best of 9 series was played in 21. And it's the first time the New York Yankees appeared in the World Series. In the real life, the New York Giants won this series 5-3. And we're 4 games in, and it's 2-2. And we're playing, I believe, on October the 10th, 1921. And I believe in this game, the Giants are considered the home team. But we'll go ahead and go into the game itself and take a look at what we got going on. Do one thing. I got to check one thing here. I believe we're ready to roll. From October 10th, 1921, Yankees 2 games won and the Giants 2 game won. We'll go ahead and play this game. As you can see, our starting pitchers for today are for the New York Yankees. It's Hoyt with a 97 rating and Art Nehf with an 83 rating. A righty-lefty matchup. And in this replay, Hoyt pitched 9 innings and won his game his first time up and only allowed 1 run and allowed 5 hits. He didn't strike out any, but he did a good job of keeping batters off the base pass. Nehf faced Hoyt the first time up. He lost that game, pitching 6 1/3 innings with a 7.11 ERA. He allowed 8 hits and struck out 5. So let's get into the game itself, and we'll just call the lineups as they come to the plate. Again, Nehf pitching for the Giants, who are the home team today. And in the 21 season, he had a 3.63 average with a 20-10 record. He is a good pitcher. If you notice on rolls of 6 and 7, which are the most common rolls when rolling dice, he's got tough out rolls. He does have a wheelhouse at 9 and a ballpark at 11, which makes him a little susceptible. But if you roll those middle rolls, he's going to be a tough out. Leading off for the New York Yankees is Elmer Miller, batting .333 in this replay, and he batted .298 in the real world. So let's get into this replay. Pitcher roll. And it's going to be a tough out. As you see, Nehf, 6 and 7. That roll of 6, it's going to be a tough out. And that's a fly ball into left field as Elmer Miller lifts it to Irish Musial in the left field. Easy can of corn play for Musial as he squeezes it for out number 1. And that brings up Roger Peckinpah, the shortstop, batting .313 with a 1 home run and 3 RBIs in this replay. Batted .298, or is that .288? That's the only thing about these cards like this. I believe it's .288 with 8 home runs. So Peckinpah steps up, gets the pitch from Nehf, and it's going to be an in-play roll. In-play 74 is a ground ball to second. Rollins up with it over to High Pockets Kelly at first for the 4-3 put out and out number 1. That brings up the Bambino, Babe Ruth, batting .167, but with 2 home runs. And he was the MVP of the last game as he homered twice in game number 4. As Babe Ruth steps to the plate, lefty. Nehf goes into his windup. It's going to be an in-play roll of 84, and that's just a deep fly ball into center field. George Burns settles underneath it for out number 3, and that was 3 up and 3 down for Nehf here in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless here at the Polo Grounds. On the mound is Hoyt. Hoyt, in the 21 season, had a 3.09 ERA with a 19-13 record. Struck out 102, but walked 81. Hoyt, in the replay of this World Series, has a 1.0 ERA in 9 innings pitched, walking 2, but not striking out any. Hoyt faces Burns. Burns with a 250 average, below his 299 average in 1921. Hoyt into his windup. And it's going to be an in-play roll of 16, and that'll be a leadoff single by Burns as he drops it in front of Babe Ruth in left field. And we're going to do a still jump check for Burns. And now we're going to do a bunt check on Bancroft, Dave Bancroft. And there will not be a bunt. It's just going to be a normally swinging away as Bancroft steps up. That's an in-play roll of 96, and that's just a fly ball deep into right field, but not deep enough to move Burns over, as that's out. Just a deep fly ball into right field. Again, we're going to do a bunt check with Frankie Frisch, and that's not going to be happen, but it says the AI is saying it's a hit and run activated. It's a good hit and run situation as Frisch steps to the plate. Frisch batting 375 in this replay, batted 341 in the real world. 4 RBIs also for Frisch as he steps up. It's going to be a defensive check. That'll be our first defensive check. It's going to be an error check on the third baseman, who has an error rating of 5, which is good as it gets. Just a 1 in 33 chance for an error, 33 to 99, and it'll be an out. And at 83, it will be an out. That's just a ground ball to third. And they turn the 5-4-3 double play, 2 down on 1 swing, and that's 3 up and 3 down in the end of the first inning. As we go into the second inning, scoreless here at the Polo Grounds. And Bob Musial, brother of left fielder for the Giants, Irish Musial, batting 267 in this replay, batted 318 with 24 home runs in 1921. Musial steps to the plate. Nehf goes into his windup. And that's going to be an in-play 81, and that's a fly ball into center field. George Burns settles underneath it for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Wally Pipp. Pipp batting 533 in this replay. He's got a hot bat with 3 RBIs. Batted 296 in 1920. Here's the offering. It's going to be a patient 36, and Wally Pipp rattles one around in the left field. The Irish Musial has a hard time coming up with it, and it is a triple by Wally Pipp. Got a jump check. I don't know what we're checking. I think we're going to try to steal home. That's I don't even know why we're calling that. Aaron Ward steps to the plate with the runner on third with 1 out. Ward batting 214 in this replay, batted 306 in 1921. Nehf gets the signals from Smith, shakes his head, goes into his windup. It's going to be another in-play roll, and that's a ground out to second base. Now we're going to get an advancement roll, 2 to 12 roll for advancement. Runner on third base with 1 out. Runner on third base, his run is a 7. Roll to 11 to 12, only play at first base. Runners advance. So let's see what our roll is. So that roll of 4 is less than his run rating of 7. So he breaks for home and scores on the ground out to second base. So that's a RBI scoring ground out. And we have a 1-0 game as the New York Yankees take a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. Art Nehf facing Mike McNally. McNally batting 083, having a hard time with the bat as Nehf goes into his windup. And this is going to be a tough out. And as Frank Drummond makes that call, that's a strikeout by McNally for out number 3. But we go to the bottom of the second with the Yankees up 1-0 here at the Polo Grounds, and Ross Young's coming to the plate. Young's batting in the cleanup spot, not doing very well. Having one of my dogs getting vocal. Ross Young stepping up, again batting 071. See if he can get his bat activated as Hoyt goes into the windup and the pitch. It's going to be an in-play roll of 33, and just as we speak, Ross Young's drops it in front of Ruth in left field, and that's a leadoff single. We're going to do a jump check, and now a sacrifice bunt check. And they will try to lay down the bunt as High Pockets Kelly squares the bunt. Flip the fac, not flick the flap. The bunt rating is C, so he's in the middle of the road. You can see the sacrifice bunt right here. We'll flip this fact, and he does indeed get the bunt down, moving Young's over to second with 1 out. Now another sacrifice bunt check. This time we'll just continue with the normal bat as Irish Musial steps to the plate, batting 308 in this replay. Musial steps up. Here's the offering. It's going to be a patient 13, and he walks him. Careful eye by Musial, and we got runners on first and second with only 1 out here as Irish Musial. Another sacrifice bunt check from Rollins, and he's just going to swing away. Rollins batting 083, batted 267 in the real world. Youngs takes a slight lead off second. Here's the pitch. It's another patient roll, 58. That's a ground ball to third. And we're going to do a double play check. If you'll excuse me, my eyes are tired. I've said in previous videos, I've just got through a knee replacement, and I'm not resting as well as I would like. The double play rating is a 6, anything 6 and under, and they will turn the double play, and they do that roll of 5, and they turn the double play, that 5-4-3 double play around the horn, and that gets them out of the inning. That rally killing, soul crushing double play, as Kurt Berglunds would say, gets us out of the inning, and we go to the third with the New York Yankees up 1-0. Wally Shang coming to the plate. Shang batting 429 in this replay, batted 316 in the regular season with 6 home runs. Art Nehf to Shang. It's going to be an in-play roll of 62, and that's just a fly ball into left field. Irish Musial settles underneath it for the F7 putout. Now, number 1. That brings Wade Hoyt to the plate. Hoyt steps up as Nehf looks at his counterpart. And Hoyt's got his own hitting card. This time we're going to go to the ballpark card in the Polo Grounds. Right-handed batter, 1-64 chance, and it's going to be a wheelhouse. And it is not. It's going to be an in-play roll. And you can see on Hoyt's card, he's got a 1-37 chance for a hit. Everything else, left-handed pitch, and he's got a 1-35 chance only. And he just lifts a fly ball into right field. Ross Young settles underneath it, squeezes it for the out, and out number 2. That brings Center fielder Elmer Miller back to the plate, who flew out to left his first time up. Nehf into his windup and the pitch. It's going to be a wheelhouse roll. Elmer Miller against left-handed pitching, 1-35 chance for a home run. So here is the offering, and he's got a fat one to hit, but he got a little too much under it, and it's just a deep fly ball into left field. Irish Musial to the warning track, but makes the play for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the third with the New York Yankees still leading 1-0. And Earl Smith coming to the plate. Smith batting 167 with an RBI in this replay. He batted 336 with 10 home runs in 1921. So Smith with a little pop to his bat faces Hoyt, who goes into his windup and the pitch. It's an in-play roll of 17, and Smith drops one in front of Babe Ruth again, who's not being able to range enough to get to some of these balls. And it's a leadoff single by Earl Smith. Now we'll do a jump check for Smith. And now a sacrifice bunt check for Art Nehf. And does not pass the bunt check, so he's going to swing away. Nehf in as he faces Hoyt. It's going to be a tough roll, that tough 29, and struck him out, as we heard again from Frank Drummond. Now we're going to go for a bunt check from George Burns, and he will just swing away as that high roll did not come into effect. Burns steps in 1-for-1 on the day. He singled his last time up as Earl Smith takes a slight lead off of first. It's going to be a patient roll, that patient 33, and he walks him, gives him the free pass. So runners on first and second, and that's the second walk issued by Hoyt as George Burns comes to the plate. As Bancroft comes to the plate. Let's see if he will be sacrifice bunting. He will not, as he'll be swinging away as Hoyt goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. It's an in-play roll of 51, and that's a line drive hit sharply at short. Peckinpah diving grab as he catches the line out for the L6 putout. Out number 2, Frankie Frisch coming to the plate. Frisch hit into a double play his last time up. Frisch hoping to redeem himself. He gets a patient roll, that patient 31, and he rips one down the right field line. It rattles around in the corner, and that's a triple, a bases clearing triple by Frankie Frisch as he legs it out for a triple. And we now have a 2-1 New York Giants lead with Frankie Frisch. And I don't know why we're doing a still check with a runner on third, which is not going to pass. But we're doing it anyhow. Ross Young's 1-for-1 on the day as he singled his last time up. Frisch 90 feet from the pay station as Youngs gets the offering from Hoyt. And this is going to be a tough roll. And he strikes him out for out number 3, but not before 2 runs come across on the bases clearing triple by Frankie Frisch. And we go to the 4th with the Giants now up 2-1 against the New York Yankees. And Roger Peckinpah coming to the plate, grounded out to second his first time as Nehf, now with the lead, looks to bear down. And that's going to be a tough out. And that's just a pop-up to second base. Rawlings drifting into shallow right field makes the easy play for out number 1. And that brings up the Bambino, Babe Ruth. Ruth flew out to center field his last time up. Here's the offering. And that's going to be a tough out. And what does he do? Ruth goes down swinging as he swings at the curveball. Nehf got him with the yacker. That'll bring Bob Musial to the plate. Batting last time up, flew out into center field. Nehf with the offering. It's going to be a patient roll. And he walks him, so he puts a runner on with 2 outs. That's his first walk of the game. And it's a successful jump check. Bob Musial takes off for second, and possible error on this attempt. And he does steal the base, but there is no error that occurred as they prevent the ball going into the outfield. But we do have now a runner on second in scoring position for Wally Pipp, who tripled his first time up. Here's the pitch to Pipp. And that's going to be a tough out. And that's just a fly ball lifted into left field. Irish Musial settles underneath it. And they leave one stranded as Musial makes the play. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-1, New York Giants. That brings up High Pockets Kelly. Here's the pitch to Kelly. It's going to be an in-play roll, and he pops it up too short. Peckinpah drifting into the shallow left field makes the play for out number one. That brings up Irish Musial. Musial batting .308 in this replay. He got on first time up with the free pass walk from Hoyt. Here's the pitch to Musial. Be an in-play roll of 61, and that's a fly ball into right field. His brother Bob settles underneath it for out number two, and that'll bring up Johnny Rollins. Rollins hit into a double play his last time up. No chance for that this time as he gets the offering. It's going to be a defensive check, and it's going to be an error check on the pitcher. The pitcher's rating is a 3, error rating. It's the middle of the road, 1-47, and it will be an error. And it is an error. Let's flip that. Error check on the pitcher, and it's just a one-base error as Hoyt boots it and lets a runner on. And now we'll have a jump check, and jump check failed. So Earl Smith's swinging away. Here's the pitch to Smith. Be an in-play roll of 93, and that's just a fly ball lifted into shallow right field. Musial settles underneath it for out number 3. Runner left on, and we go to the 5th with the New York Giants still leading 2-1. And Aaron Ward stepping to the plate. Ward grounded out to second, but it was a RBI scoring ground out. As Ward steps up, Nehf goes into his windup and the pitch. And it's going to be another defensive check. This time it's an error check on the first baseman, who again, his error rating is a 3. 1-47 chance for an error. And it will be. And it's a one-base error. As another booted ball as Aaron Ward now steps up to be checked for a jump check. Now the bunt check. McNally fails the bunt check, so he will be continuing with the normal at-bat as McNally steps up. It's going to be a tough out. That's just a pop-up to shortstop. Again, drifting into shallow left field. Bancroft makes the easy play for out number 2. Or out number 1, excuse me. Now we're going to check for the sacrifice bunt check by Wally Shang. And Shang will just be swinging away, but it is a good hit and run situation. So it's been activated as Shang gets the offering from Nehf. It's an in-play roll of 27, and that is a single hit into the gap, and that moves Ward all the way over to third. So runners on the corner and 1 out, and we're going to do a jump check. And the defensive alignment, the manager's bringing the corners in, the runner on third base with less than 2 outs. Corners in. As Hoyt comes to the plate. It's going to be an in-play 57, and that's just a fly ball into right field. Youngs makes the play, and Ward holds at third, not testing the arm, as we got 2 outs now, and Elmer Miller stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch to Miller. It's going to be a tough out 83. It's just a deep fly ball into center field. That's just a long out as George Burns settles underneath it for out number 3. So runners left on the corners, but no runs come across as we go to the bottom of the 5th. New York Giants 2, New York Yankees 1, and Art Nehf coming to the plate. Hoyt into the windup, facing his counterpart, and that's a ground ball to second. Ward up with it over to Pip for the 4-3 put out. Out number 1. That brings up George Burns, 1 for 1 on the day, and also a walk. He singled his first time up as Hoyt goes into his windup, and that's going to be a patient 43, and that's another walk. If you look on Burns' card, against right-handed pitching 1-46, and it is a walk. So he gets on once again, and we're going to do a jump check, and now a sacrifice bunt check for Bancroft. And it's just going to be swinging away as Bancroft 0 for 2 on the day. Hoyt facing Bancroft. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a tough 15. And you can see on Bancroft's card that tough 15 is a double. It's a looping liner to right field. All runners score. Burns scoring from first, and it's now 3-1. The Giants as an RBI scoring double by Bancroft. Now we'll check for the jump check. And now the sacrifice bunt check for Frankie Frisch. And he fails that, so he'll be swinging away. Frisch 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. That bases clearing triple he had the last time he was up. Hoyt into the windup. It's going to be an in-play roll of 71, and that's a ground ball too short. And we're going to look at runner advancements. This is a 2D6 roll. Runner on third with 1 out. He has a run rating of 7, so anything 7 and under, he's going to get on base. And he will make it over to third as Frisch moves him over, and Young's coming to the plate. Here's the pitch to Ross Youngs. It's going to be an in-play roll of 59, and that's just a ground ball to first. Pip fills it easily, steps on the bag himself for the 3 unassisted, and Bancroft is left stranded at third. But the Giants now have a 3-1 lead here in the Polo Grounds as we go to the 6th inning. Roger Peckinpah 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded to second and popped up to second. So Nehf looks to set him down once again. And that's just a fly ball into center field as it's lifted to George Burns, settles underneath it, squeezes it for out number 1. That brings up Babe Ruth. 0 for 2 on the day is Ruth. Here's the pitch to Ruth. Tough out. That's just a ground ball too short. Bancroft to Kelly for the 6-3 put out, and out number 2. And then that brings up Bob Musial. 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out and walked. It's going to be an in-play roll, 67, and that's fly ball right field. Young settles underneath it for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Giants 3, Yankees 1. High pockets Kelly coming to the plate. Hoyt into the windup, and the pitch. It's in play roll, and that is a hard hit ball that makes it to one, hops the wall for a double, and the AI manager calls for an intentional walk to Irish Musial. Look at Musial's card to wonder why they did that. I'm going to do a bunt check on Rollins first. Not sure why it's not pulling up Musial's card or Kelly's. Rollins stepping to the plate, swinging away with 2 runners on. It'll be another in-play roll of 05, and that's going to be a single. We're going to flip the fact to see how this plays out. You can see it's hard grounder into left field, runner on first, advance 2 bases, runner on second, scores. So Kelly makes it home, Musial all the way to first, and it's now 4-1 Giants with runners on the corner. We're going to do a jump check for Rollins. AI manager is going to bring the AI manager bringing the corners in. Runner on third base with less than 2 outs. We don't want another run to come across. Here's the pitch to Smith, who's 1 for 2 on the day. And that's going to be a tough roll. 44, and that's just what the doctor orders. He pops it up down the third base line. McNally settles underneath it for the easy pop-up put away, but the corners are going to remain in with only 1 out. And Art Nehf stepping to the plate. Nehf swinging away, and Hoyt gets what he needed. He needed that strikeout to get to 2 outs. That way the fielders can play normal as George Byrne comes to the plate. Byrne steps up. It's going to be a patient roll, and we got a rare play roll. This is a error 1 base, catcher with an A range frames the pitch, resulting in a strikeout. Let's see what we got. And it will be a 1 base error, as it's an error behind the plate by Wally Shang, and another run comes across, and it's now 5-1. And the AI is making a pitching change as Bill Piercy replaces Wade Hoyt. Runs allowed threshold exceeded 5 runs. Piercy coming ERA in this replay had a 2.98 in the real world with a 5-4 record. Piercy steps in as Bancroft steps up 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Piercy with the pitch. And this is going to be a patient roll. And that's just going to be the result is a hit by pitch as he loads the bases, as he throws one into the shoulder of Dave Bancroft. Not purposefully. You don't want to load the bases. Frankie Frisch has a little pop to his bat, 8 home runs, not a lot, but a good batting average as Frisch steps to the plate. Here's the offering. It's going to be another patient roll of 91, and that's just grounded to second. Runner 3 left on, it's just a 4-3 put out, and 3 left stranded as we go to the end of the bottom of the 6th, but it's 5-1 Giants. Wally Pipp stepping to the plate as we're in the 7th inning now. Excuse me, that was the bottom of the 6th. We're in the 7th inning, and Pipp stepping up. They're trailing 5-1. They want to get something going, but Nehf pitching pretty good game, and he's struck out 2 and has only allowed 2 hits. Nehf with the offering. It's going to be a fly ball into left field with that tough out roll. The F7 put out, as usual, makes the easy play for out number 1. So the AI manager is sending home run Baker to pitch hit for Aaron Ward. It's a critical situation requiring double substitution. Home run Baker stepping to the plate. Added 294 with 9 home runs in 21. Here's the pitch to home run Baker. It's going to be a ballpark roll again. Left-handed batter, 1-72, and this is a wheelhouse. And he rolls that 91, so it's an in-play roll of 03, and he hits it well as it rattles around in the right field corner. Young's up with it, but not before home run Baker is safely on third with a triple. And, of course, he's not going to be trying to steal home as Mike McNally comes to the plate. He's got a runner 90 feet from pay dirt, and Mike McNally is stepping to the plate. It's going to be a tough out of 70. That's a ground ball to second. And we're going to do an advancement check. The runner on third has a run rating of 6. And he will score. And they get the runner at first, but it does drive in a run. And now it's 5-2 here in the 7th inning. And Wally Shang coming to the plate. Shang singled his last time up. Shang with the offering. And that's just a fly ball lifted into center field. George Burns settles underneath it for out number 3. And a run comes across to tighten this game up a little bit as we go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 Giants. And the manager makes a defensive substitution. Chick Fuster replaces home run Baker at second. And that was a defensive replacement cued after a substitution. Ross Young stepping to the plate. He has a single on the day. Here's the pitch to Young. It's going to be a tough 18. Struck him out. I'll bring up High Pockets Kelly, who's doubled on the day. Here's a pitch from Piercy. Another tough roll. This is just a fly ball lifted into left field. Babe Ruth settles underneath it for the easy out for out number 2. And that brings up Irish Musial. Here's the pitch to Musial. Another patient roll of 95, and that's a fly ball lifted to Ruth in left field once again. Easy play for Ruth, and that's a 3-up and 3-down inning, just what the Yankees needed as we go to the 8th, 5-2. So the manager is sending in Brago Roth to pitch hit for Bill Piercy. He offers a .453 better value improvement. Nehf, still pitching well, faces Brago Roth. Roth is yet to hit in this World Series. Batted .283 with 2 home runs with 152 at bats. Roth gets the offering, and it's going to be a ballpark roll. He is a right-handed batter, so 164 chance it'll be wheelhouse, and it is. And against left-handed pitching, 1-19 chance. And he does not get the home run, but he does get the single, 42-72. He drops one into center field, and Roth, will he try to steal? He will not. Now, that was a bunt check, excuse me. No bunt as Miller steps up over 3 on the day. And it's another ballpark roll. And this time it's just going to play roll. That 58 is above the 64. And that roll of 40, he does single. We'll flip the fact. Sharp liner drops in front of left field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So it's just a 1-base single. We now have runners on first and second. And we're going to check the sacrifice bunt check on Peckinpah. And that fails. So Peckinpah is going to be swinging away with runners on first and second as the Yankees got something going here in the 8th with no outs. Runners on first and second. Peckinpah steps up. It's another ballpark roll. And that's going to be a wheelhouse roll for Roger Peckinpah. Against left-handed pitching, he only has a 1-8 chance for a home run. That roll of 69, though, will be a single. And that's a grounder up the middle to the center fielder. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. And this game is tightening up as we now have a 5-3 ball game. And Art Nehf is now fatigued. So we'll be pulling as Gennard replaces Art Nehf. And the AI manager is going to bring in runners, bring in the corners because we have no outs. And it's a 5-3 ball game and runners on first and second. And you got Babe Ruth coming to the plate. Look at Claude Gennard's card, ballpark and defense, and all the rest are toughs. That tough 20, you guessed it. He strikes out Ruth. Just what they needed. Gennard, tough. He's a tough out. We'll do a still jump check again. And the corners once again in because there's only 1 out. Bob Musial coming to the plate. There'll be another tough roll. That tough roll of 20. So 2 strikeouts from Gennard. Runner still on the corner for Wally Pipp. And another tough roll, 43, and that's just a line drive hit to second. Rollins with a leaping grab for out number 3. And Gennard comes in and shuts them down. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the New York Giants leading 5 runs to 3. Tom Rogers enters the game for the Yankees. And Frank Snyder coming to pitch hit for Johnny Rollins. Rogers had a 7.36 ERA in 1921 with an 0-1 record with a save. In the replay, he's got a 33.75 ERA. I don't know if Rogers was the best choice, but here's the pitch to Snyder. It's going to be a patient roll of 24, and he walks him, leadoff walk, as Rogers comes in and allows a batter on. And we're going to see if Smith's going to try to lay down a bunt. He does not. He's going to swing away Rogers into his windup. And this is going to be a defensive check on the second baseman, error check. He has a rating of 2, not very good. 1 to 63 chance it's an error. And it is. And it's going to be a one-base error as he boots it. Chick Fuster with the boot and the error. There's a sacrifice bunt check. No bunt. And Gonzalez comes in to pitch hit for Claude Gennard. Oh, man, I would have wanted to keep him in. He's a shutdown pitcher. That wouldn't have been my choice. Gonzalez steps to the plate. Be a patient 75, and he just grounds it to second. We're going to have a double play check. It's going to be anything 5 and under, and this is double play, and it is not. So they get the fielder's choice, get the force at second, but now runners on the corner. And the infield's in for there's only one out, and Burns coming to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day is Burns. Here's the pitch, another patient roll of 50, and he rattles one around in the corners. They stumble around, and it is a bases clearing triple by George Burns, as it's now a 7-3 game for the New York Giants, and the infield is in because only one out, trying to keep Burns from scoring. Rogers has really yacked it up here, as he's now left one in the wheelhouse for Dave Bancroft. Bancroft against right-handed pitching, 1 to 10 chance, and home run by Dave Bancroft. And Tom Rogers come in, and he wet the bed as make a pitching change. Harry Harper replaces Tom Rogers. Maybe a little too late, as now it's a 9-3 New York Giants lead, and Frankie Frisch coming to the plate. It's going to be a patient 50, and that's a single by Frisch, as Harry Harper comes in to pitch. I didn't give his card. 3.76 ERA, 4-3 record in 1921. We'll try to see if there's going to be a bunt, and there will not be, as Youngs looks to swing away. It'll be a tough roll of 09. Come on, Drummond. Hey, struck him out. And High Pockets Kelly coming to the plate. It'll be a tough roll of 32, and that's for out number 3. And we go to the 9th, 9-3 New York Giants. Bud Heine replacing Frank Snyder at second after a substitution, and Red Shea enters the game to pitch. Red Shea, 5-2 record with a 3.09 ERA. I still think I would have kept Gennard in, but that's not my call. I'm letting the computer make these choices. Chick Fuster at the plate, batted .280, yet to bat in this replay. Fuster gets the offering. It's going to be a tough offer. Struck him out. So 2 more to go, and the Yankees are going to go down 3-2 in this best-of-9 series as Mike McNally steps to the plate. This time it's going to be an in-play roll of 22, and McNally gets on. So a little hope left for the Yankees, and that'll bring Wally Shang to the plate. McNally takes a slight lead off at second, and it's going to be a patient roll of 87, grounded to second. Will they turn two to end this game? 6 and under, and it will be a game-ending double play. And it is not. They get to fielder's choice. They force McNally out at second on the 4-6 put out. That's 2 outs. And Harry Harper coming to the plate. And they're not going to pitch hit. Okay. It'll be a tough roll. And he did what? He struck him out. And that's going to end our game. And that'll be it. The New York Giants take down the New York Yankees 9-3 in this game 5 to take a 3-2 lead. George Byrne is our MVP, 2 for 3 with a single and a triple, scoring 3 RBIs and 3 runs. So that is the game. Art Nehf was the winning pitcher. Hoyt was the loser, flip-flopping from their first encounter. And that's going to be the end of our game. So far now, 5 games into this World Series, and we have a 3-2 New York Giants lead over the New York Yankees. I hope you enjoyed this game, as we will continue and go to game 6 and see if it goes any further, as the New York Giants are 1 win away from winning this 1921 World Series replay. Hope everyone has a great day. I hope you enjoy the day that God has given. Soli Deo Gloria.